Welcome to the series of MongoDB tutorial. This is the third video in this series. In the previous two videos, we learn about the MongoDB. We install the MongoDB and the MongoDB tool MongoDB shell, and we also learn about the documents and the collections, and we do various operations and we do various queries with the collection and the documents, and we use the different operators and filter. So you can check the link of the playlist of the MongoDB tutorial in the upper right corner. And if you are interested to develop the backend with the Node, Express, MongoDB in the both JavaScript and TypeScript, you can check the link of the playlist in the description, also in the end of the video. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. So today we will discuss about the data modeling in MongoDB. So basically data modeling in MongoDB involves the designing the structure of your documents to suit your application requirements. So whatever application or the business requirements there are, according to it, we will design the structure or design the model of the MongoDB. It's basically the schema design approach where you organize your data in a way the best fit into your use cases. So whatever use cases submits according to the client requirements. So we design the schema just like the RDBMS, but it's not such restricted just like the RDBMS. So the key decision and the designing data models is the resolve around the structure of the documents and how the application represents relationship between documents. The key challenges in data modeling is the balancing the needs of the application, the performance characteristics of the database engine, and the data retrieval patterns. So when designing data models, always consider the application usage of the data, that is the queries, updates, processing of data, as well as the inherent structure of the data itself. So data model design, I will mainly discuss about the two types of data model design. Effective data model design is the embedded. So you can the key consideration for structure of your data is the decision to embed or to use the reference. So according to the need, you have to decide whether you will go to the embedded pattern or the reference pattern or the. So first we will see the embedded data models with MongoDB, where embedded related data is in a single structure or the document. So this schema is generally known as the denormalized. It's suitable for the data where the relationship between entities are the straightforward and there's requirement for the high query performance by retrieving all related data at once. So you can see here the user document contain the another object which is the contact which contains the phone and email and the access level. So it's level and the group. So these examples, so the contact and the access, which is the sub document, we embedded this in the user document. So it's frequently accessed with the user. So that's why we can get the contact and the access information with the user information in a single query. Next data model, we have the normalized data model. Normalized data model describes the relationship using reference between the document, just like we do in the RDBMS relational database, where we have the column reference of one table to the another table. So it's suitable when data relationships are complex and when there's a need to avoid redundant data, maintaining data consistency and supporting many-to-many relationship. So here if I design the same example of the users in the normalized data models, so we can create the two separate documents, the contact documents, the access documents. Previously those were the sub documents, and you have to keep the reference of the user in those documents, just like we have the user ID reference in the contact document, also the access document. Next, we see the advantage and disadvantage of the embedded pattern. So advantages, so the advantage of embedding over referencing or the normalized data models, if you need to view one data entity in the context of the other, in case of the one-to-one relationship. So we'll see this advantage by example. So if you see here, I created some created some example to explain those advantages, just like I created the products and the products.json data to explain the different operations with the documents and the collection. I will share I'll share those data. I will upload in the GitHub, and I will share the GitHub link in the description. So I'm presenting this documentation with the live server. If you have the live server extension, you can present any markdown file or the HTML file by using the live server. You can see it's running on the 5500 port. So I will go to this represent. You can see here is the two directory. So we have the part 3, and I will go to the one-to-one and the embedded pattern. So if you see the advantage of the embedded pattern of the subset pattern or the normalized pattern in one-to-one relationship. So if you see the patron document and the address document, the patron documents has the information of the patron, and the address documents the address of the patron. So if I create the reference or the normalize it, so I have to keep the patron ID inside the address documents. But if the address data is frequently retrieved with the name information, then with referencing, your application needs to issue the multiple queries to resolve the reference. The better data model would be to embed the address data in the patron data, just like I do here. I embedded the address data inside the patron data. So address here is the subdocument. So if I do here in this pattern, I will show you by inserting the Mongo shell. So I will jump into the Mongo shell. I'll open the terminal and type the Mongo sh. I use the database Mongo tutorial. Now I will insert the patron document first, then I will insert the address document. So I will remove the white spaces. So now if I want to get the patron, so I will use the find method. But I also need the address. So I have to do one more query. And I want to pass the filter here. I already have the ID of the patron. So here, so I have to do multiple queries. But if I go to this embedded pattern, so you can see by one query I can get the address information, and address will be retrieved frequently. So here the embedded patterns is useful, and its advantage, it's giving more advantage than the reference pattern or the normalized pattern. At the same time, if I discuss about the disadvantage, the potential problems with the advantage document pattern, it can lead to the large document that contains fields that the application does not need. So we will see by example. Now if I go to the subset pattern, so the advantage of the subset pattern. So if you see the example of this pattern, if you see the movie collection here with the embedded pattern, so here it contains the several fields that the application does not need to show a simple overview of a movie, such as the full plot and the rating information, those. So those unnecessary data can cause extra load on your server and slow down read operation. Instead, you can use the subset pattern to retrieve the subset of the data which is accessed the most frequently in a single database. Call. So I will do, so instead of storing all of the movie data in a single collection, so I will split the collection into the two collections. One is the movie collection. So you can see the movie collection, which is which contains the basic information which will load by default, and we have the movie details collections. So movie detail collection is the additional of the less frequent access data for the each movie. If there is need or the required to access the movie details, then only we will access the movie details collection. So we will do same. So we'll here I will create the two different collection. First I will get the movie collection, and I have the ID. So and here is the movie ID, the reference of the movie here. So if user needs the extra information, then there will be another query, the filter the movie details by the movie ID. Next, if I talk about the one-to-many relationship, if you need to view many data entries in the context of another, we will see by example. So if I go to the one-to-many directory, here we have the embedded pattern. So if you see here the example, the pattern can have the multiple addresses. So if you keep reference of the pattern ID in the multiple address documents in a normalized data pattern, so if the address is frequently accessed, then there will be the multiple query. But we can embed the multiple addresses in our address array and embed those addresses array inside the pattern document. So here the application can retrieve the complete pattern information with one query. Now, if I talk about the disadvantages of the embedded pattern, so it can lead to the potential problems with embedded document pattern is that it can lead to the large document, especially if the embedded field is unbounded. Consider this e-commerce data where we have the list of reviews of the product. So we have the multiple reviews. There can be multiple. There can be the 1 million or billion reviews. The reviews are sorted in the reverse chronological order. When a user visits a product page, the application loads the 10 most recent views. Basically, this is the instead of storing all the reviews with the product, you can split the collections into the two collections. The product collections, we store information of the each product, including the product's 10 most recent reviews. So we will use the embedded, but not all the reviews. We will only store the 10 most recent reviews with the with the product, and we will have the another documents, which is the review document, which will contain all the reviews. Each reviews contains a reference to the products for which it was written. So by storing the 10 most recent reviews in the product collection, only the required subset of the overall data is written in the call to the product collection. If a user wants to see additional reviews, the application makes a call to the review collections. We will see another example of the advantage of referencing over the embedding to avoid the repetition. Consider the following example that maps the publisher and the book's relationship. The example illustrates the advantage of the reference over embedding. So we will discuss. So here the embedding the publisher document inside the book document would lead through the repetition. So if you see here the two documents, the MongoDB, the definition guide, and 52, the publisher is the same, and the repeat. It's giving me the repetition of the publishers. To avoid repetition, what we can do, we can keep the publisher information in a separate collection from the book collection. When using references, the growth of the relationship determines where to store the reference. If the number of books per publisher is small, with the limited growth, storing the book reference inside the publisher documents may sometimes be useful, just like that. So here we have the publisher information. Inside publisher information, we have the books array where we are keeping the reference of the book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here is the book ID, and here are the book. Otherwise, if the number of books per publisher is unbounded, that is, if there is a very large number of books per publisher, the data model would lead to the mutable and the growing array. So to avoid this multiple, so mutable and the growing array, so we have the another approach. So then we will use the book document. We will and inside the book documents there will be the publisher reference. So this is the best solution. So you can see this is the documents of the publishers, and I am keeping the book documents, and inside the book document we have the reference of these publishers. So in this solution we don't have the issue of the mutable or the growing arrays, and we don't have the repetitions of the publishers. So that's all for this video. In the next video we will discuss about the aggregation and the aggregation pipeline. We will see the joins of the tables. So just like we join in the RDBMS, we will see the normalized data model. So we'll create some examples and joins the tables, and we will see the queries with input and output with example. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and please share, and please do subscribe to my channel. Okay, thank you.